How you doing? I'm Phil Falcone, director, producer, effects, actor, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call me, I'm good for it. I'm good. Producer of Terrifier, Terrifier 2, and Terrifier 3, special effects on Terrifier and Terrifier 2, and whatever else I have to do, set build. I'm on 30 Screams or Less. Welcome, people. Glad to be here.
Warning. 30 Screams or Less may contain spoilers about movies that have recently been released. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it, come back, and enjoy the show. Or, if you don't want to waste your time watching the movie and rather have two random horror dudes watch it for you, we got you covered as well. Welcome, everyone, to 30 Screams or Less, a horror movie podcast where we review horror movies in 30 minutes or less. Today's movie we're going to be reviewing is Speak No Evil, the James McAvoy edition. We've been wanting to do this one for a while now, ever since it was first announced, man. This is where the whole James McAvoy joke came from. So the movie's directed by James Watkins, written by James Watkins, but also Christian Tafdrup and Mads Tafdrup, who actually wrote the first Speak No Evil. So at least they're involved in this to some sort of extent. Starring, of course, James McAvoy as Patty, Aisling Franciosi as Ciara, Mackenzie Davis as Louise Dalton, Scoot McNairy as Ben Dalton, and Dan Ho as the little asshole ant. The plot of this movie is a family is invited to spend a whole weekend in a lonely home in the countryside. But as the weekend progresses, they realize that a dark side lies within the family who invited them. But before we get into it, Corey, last night I was looking in the mirror and you know what? My beard was looking gnarly. And I said to myself, I can't look like this. I got to do something. So I decided to break out Beard Octane's beard wash and conditioner along with their beard oil. And dude, my beard looked amazing. I'm glad you turned me on to Beard Octane.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I've been using their products for years and I can vouch for them. And whether you're pounding IPAs or chopping wood, you got to look your best. Visit beardoctane.com and use the code 30screams10 at checkout for a 10% discount. It helps us. And like I said, the products are absolutely incredible. They're local too. They're based out of Connecticut. So help them out and support small businesses. We're not just slinging beard grooming supplies. We've been using them for a while.
Yeah, we have. 30 Screams or Less starts now. Corey, what did you think of Speak No Evil, the James McAvoy edition?
Steve, I was skeptical going into this anyways, because obviously this is a remake of a film that came out in 2022. This didn't need to happen whatsoever. And if it wasn't for our future podcast host, James McAvoy, I would be shitting all over this.
I can see that. I liked it. I thought it was definitely different from, well, no, I won't say that. So there was a lot of similarities between the original one and the remake. However, the ending for the remake, completely different than the original, because the original was so much dread and it was an absolute miserable ending. And we're just like, well, that's cool because that's different. But American audiences, man, would hate it. They would hate it.
So that was kind of, I know we've talked about this several times before, how we both love movies that end very poorly. We love them that end, like you said, dread.
Yep.
And obviously the original just ended with the family getting, or not the family, ended up with the kid getting drowned.
Yep.
And then they gave the daughter away, right?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I think so.
And then the mother and the father get fucking stoned to death in the desert.
Yeah, just standing there naked. But
they reversed the roles in this, is what they did.
Exactly.
The bad guys die, and the family lives.
Yeah, but there was no stoning and no nudity.
No nudity, but that whole scene in the first one where now I can't remember his name. The father in the original, like a bad one.
Patty?
No, the other. No, they even changed the names.
Oh, well, yeah, they changed names, of course. Actually, I don't even remember the father's name, but I know what you're talking about.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
Dude, they're hard names to pronounce in the original one, too.
So also, I was just looking, the writers, Christian and Mads Tafdrup, are also the writers of the original. You said that, didn't you?
I did say that, yeah.
All right, okay. So
at least there's some continuity there.
It was Patrick and Louise. So they left the...
Why Patty as opposed to Patrick?
But they left Louise's name the same.
Yeah, what's the point?
And they changed Karen's name to Ciara.
Okay.
Agnes they left.
Yeah.
And then they changed the little boy's name from Abel
That's right. Yeah.
to
Abel.
Ant?
Yeah.
Why did they only change like certain names?
I don't know. And not hard names to pronounce either. So why change it up like that? I got to know the thought behind why they were mixing up the names, because it really doesn't make any sense.
And not even all of them, and just the select few. Like, why not keep Bjorn and Luis and Patrick, not Patty?
Yeah.
Karen, Agnes, obviously. Abel was a cool name. Like, Ant, come on.
Yeah.
There's
I don't
even
know,
a character
maybe-
named Muhajid in the original, which they kept in this.
Yeah.
He was the caretaker.
Yeah. He was all dressed up in fucking army fatigue at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which was pretty much on brand to what happened in the original one. Like I said, a lot of it was similar, but these weird instances like this, where the names are slightly changed for no apparent reason, other than, here's what I'm thinking, is that Patty, because James McAvoy is from Scotland, right?
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
Scottish. So
I see where you're going.
yeah, do you think that they went with Patty because he's from Scotland and like that's part of his accent? Like it kind of makes sense. You know how like Irish people, you'd be like Patty, or you'd do, I don't know, like a fucking Irish name, McNeil for a last name. I don't know. So do you think maybe that's why?
No, I just think it's some unexplained because, like I said, his accent, if they were going for the Irish thing, they should have let him keep his accent. He's Scottish anyways, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, just generalizing.
But
basically.
still, accent gone.
Yeah. So, okay. Accent gone.
We'll have
Do
to
we
ask
even-
him when he's on our podcast someday.
I know, right? Do we even know where this takes place?
I don't know if they even said, because the first one was what, like Sweden or something, or Norway?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think it was Sweden, but it was one of those. So, but we at least knew where they were in the first one. This one, I have no idea. Were they on the, like, in America? I would think so. I mean, the guy was driving a Tesla. I know we've seen some instances of Teslas being overseas, but it's more widely known here. So maybe this is located in the United States and Patty's from outside the country. They all met in Italy. I just don't know where it takes place.
I don't think it was the United States, just judging from like the landscape and everything.
Yeah,
and
the
the buildings where they were.
Yeah, that's true, because it does look like it's more Irish or Scottish or something like in Europe. It definitely has that European look to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So we'll just say that it was like filmed in the UK somewhere, but not sure.
I'm Googling that right now, actually.
Yeah.
Principal photography took place in Croatia and Gloucester, England.
Okay, England then. So that's probably where it took place. A bunch of Americans went to Italy to hang out, and they met this family, and they go to Europe. Unless they're all just based out of... Oh, no. Fuck. You're right. Because they all flew from the United States, moved to the UK for a job that just didn't pan out. So they were all just living in London.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, his wife was cheating on him.
Yeah, exactly. And then they meet the family in Italy, and then they get offered to go to their place for the weekend. So it's all taking place over in the UK. That's what I gather. But it's not 100% clear. As you can see, we're just trying to figure out where the fuck it is. We're just generalizing and we're just assuming at this point. But again, the movie's pretty similar. So they meet the family at this Italian getaway. Everything seems fine. You know, they're having dinners together and just enjoying each other. And then they're like, you should come by sometime and whatever. So the Daltons, they go back home and they get a postcard from Patty and his wife saying that, oh, yeah, you should come by for the weekend sometime. And that's when Ben is like, you know what? Yeah, we should go. And the whole family goes there. And this is where the fucking lunacy starts. And
So I love the fact that they kept this part in, because I thought it was really, really, what's the word I'm looking for now? Awful, right? That, Pat, or what's his face? What the fuck's the husband's name now? I cannot remember.
Ben.
Okay, so that Ben makes Luis eat the meat.
Oh, no. Patty makes Louise eat the meat.
Patty. So Patty eats, or Louise, whatever, makes her eat the meat, even though she's a like strict vegetarian.
Yep, which they did in the original one as well.
Right, but that was one of the few things they kept in this movie from the original, was that very scene. And even in the original, I don't know, that scene really fucked with me.
Yeah, well, it's important they have those scenes in, because the whole idea is built around psychological and emotional damage, basically. Like, they're really fucking with them mentally. And that's one of the ways. It's just take them out of their comfort zone and do something that they really don't want to do and just fuck them up mentally. And then it gets to a point where they're about to kill them, basically. It's like foreplay or some shit. So they fuck with them for a whole weekend before they're like, all right, let's just call it a day. And, that's how they kill the families. They take all their shit, kill the families, and that's it. So that's like their MO is fucking with them mentally and then killing them and stealing the kids.
Yeah, it was definitely, there were some similarities between the two. And I was really trying to approach this as if the original didn't exist, or just watch it as kind of a new film, because I don't want to be one of those assholes that watches a movie and compares it to a book or something.
Yeah, that's why I had to I gave Ghostbusters Answer the Call another try, thinking that the original Ghostbusters didn't exist. So.
Yeah, that one's hard though.
Yeah, I know. It was hard, man.
So this one would have been I think if there was more time between the original and the remake, then it would have been easier to stomach. But there was literally fucking 2 years between these movies. It just doesn't need to exist.
Dude, it got put out in 2022. And I think they announced an Americanized version, 8 months later?
I don't even think it was that long, honestly, because I swear we reviewed the original one. And I think we'll have to go back, but I think we might have talked about the remake in that fucking episode.
You're probably right. It happened so fucking fast. I think we saw the movie, then we heard there was already one about to be made for America, and we're just like, what the fuck? We're just reviewing the original one.
Yeah, and I thought it was a joke at first, because James McAvoy.
Yeah.
But no, and honestly, he was the best part about this movie, hands down.
He's fucking crazy in it, man. He's a brick shit house. He's super intense.
Dude, I didn't realize how fucking jacked he was until that scene at the end where he's wearing just a tank top.
Yeah.
Looks like the goddamn Terminator.
He's ripping fucking locks off of doors and shit. Just no big deal. Just fucking slam this door in, slam through the slide lock like it's nothing. He's a monster. He is
a monster.
So big, man.
He's awesome. Pretty much everything he does is, I literally never seen him do anything bad except, no, I'm not even going to shit on X-Men.
No.
Because he was good in that too. I really don't think he's ever done anything bad.
I really can't think of anything that I don't like of his. But I mean, there's some movies that are not as good as others, obviously, but you don't hate the movies he's in. They're either great or they're no, that was good.
Yeah. Literally looking through his IMDb right now, and I don't see a single thing on here that I would knock.
Yeah, he's picking his roles real carefully.
Just banger after banger.
Yeah, looks it. I mean, what'd you think of Glass?
I love the whole trilogy, honestly.
Yeah, I like the trilogy too. Didn't hate it. I honestly don't remember much of it because I only saw it once. But I remember thinking it wasn't bad. Well, yeah,
obviously,
man, a lot of bangers.
You get Split, and he's doing that thing he did where he's playing 39 different people. Dude's a lunatic in a good way.
Yeah.
So back to the movie here. Again, I was trying not to compare things, but I did notice certain things that they changed that I was kind of salty about. And one of those things was the sex scene where Agnes, remember they came into the bedroom and took Agnes?
Yes, that's right. Okay. Yeah. And he was naked, wasn't he?
And he was fucking buck ass naked. And he watched Bjorn and Louise have sex.
Yep.
And then he took Agnes into their bedroom and put Agnes in the bed with him. Obviously, that's super fucking creepy, but I think that added to the effect.
Yep.
And that part was just non-existent in the remake. Instead, Agnes just appears in the bed with Louise and Patty with no explanation as to why.
Well, I guess they said something along the lines we heard you fighting, so we brought her in, and she or she couldn't sleep and we brought her in type deal. But there's no way they would have naked people in a bed with kids in America. There's no way. You can't do that. James McAvoy would end up on a sex offender list.
Yeah, but if you're staying true to the source material and it's 2024, we watch kids die on screen constantly now.
We do. But there's a line, man. Hear me out here. There's a thin line between killing a kid on screen and literally sleeping naked next to one. That's somewhere the line has to be drawn. I mean,
but they still did that in this movie.
He was in his underwear, but it was still fucking weird, man.
It was, and the uneasiness was still there with me when that scene happened. But I feel like if they kept it true to how it was, and like you said, United States probably they were nah, we're good. This is this is going to be unrated and not in the theaters if you guys do this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Hollywood would have been like, yeah, we're cutting the budget.
That's probably what happened. There'd be no way that that movie would be put in theaters unrated. Whereas Terrifier 3, that's like a whole different ballgame. I mean, that's an independent movie being put in theaters at unrated. This is like a big budget movie that you can't just like fucking go, all right, yeah, we'll put it in as unrated. It's not going to happen. There's a lot of backers, investors, all that shit that are involved in this. Too many parties. They have to tone it down to an extent.
Yeah, you're right. They had to keep it, so they could show it in theaters essentially and make money off it.
Yeah. Now, my question is, and I know I'm skipping forward a little bit, do you think there's an alternate ending to the American one when like the Blu-ray and DVD come out?
Nope.
No, you don't think so? You don't
Dude,
think
it's already out.
Oh, is it already out?
I don't know if it went straight to it
No.
has a physical release already. I don't know, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they watered it down.
I mean, other than that, they would have James McAvoy and his wife in this like naked being stoned to death. Like it'd be like the reverse thing, or would it be Ben and Louise naked and getting stoned to death? And I'm thinking that maybe it was filmed. They tried to show it to American audiences, and they were like, "No, not for me." And then they fucking did a whole different ending because that does happen.
Maybe it does exist. I don't know.
I'd watch it.
I might watch it if there is like a director's cut or something like that. Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 4-hour Justice League type cut.
Fuck yeah. 4 hours of pure dread.
Everyone will be in the hospital after watching it.
Oh my God. You would love it. Just like all the fucking dread. Give it to me.
Yep. I live for that shit.
I know you do. So
what else do we want to talk about?
The actress that played Louise, and man, I get her so fucking mixed up with Emily Blunt. Like they could be sisters, I swear to God. Look at the two of them side by side.
Okay. Hold on.
Easy to like think, oh yeah, that's Emily Blunt. And then you're like, oh no, it's not Emily Blunt. It's Mackenzie Davis. It's fucking wild how much they look alike.
Okay. Yep. I'm looking at a side by side and I can't tell the difference. And I'm looking at Google Images, so there's multiple images and they all look like her.
Yes. So initially I was thinking that Emily Blunt was in this movie.
Nope.
No, but like when I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, James McAvoy and Emily Blunt. And I'm like, wait a second. Nope.
Welcome to the party,
Emily,
pal.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, she looks familiar. What's she from? She's from like one of the Terminator movies.
Karina Smulders? Oh, no, that's the original. Whoops. Fuck, I have too many IMDb pages open, Steve.
Yeah, cool your tits there.
Mackenzie Davis. Okay.
Mackenzie Davis. Yeah, she was in one of the Terminator movies.
Dark Fate. Blade Runner.
Yep. She's got a pretty solid resume too, man.
I guess. Damn.
Yeah, but I find it funny that I always get those two mixed up. But yeah, this movie is unsettling all the way through. Really just builds dread throughout the whole thing up until the climax, which I wasn't even sure what the hell was going to happen. Dude, that scene where they're trying to just fucking leave.
Oh, in the car?
Yep.
In the fucking Tesla?
Yep. They're just like, everything was preventing them from leaving. Well, first of all,
the gate.
Well, yeah, the gate thing. But I'm going to circle back. The main villain in this movie is that stupid fucking bunny.
Hoppy?
Hoppy.
Yeah.
It's all Hoppy's fault. This whole thing would never happen if it wasn't for Hoppy.
So they kept it pretty similar to the original too. I don't remember what the stuffed animal's name was in the OG, but do you remember when they were leaving for the first time and then Agnes realizes she left her stuffed bunny or whatever the fuck back at the house? So they turned around and went back?
Yeah.
So same idea. I mean, same thing happened.
Exactly.
They changed the name though. I don't remember what it was in the OG. It wasn't Hoppy.
It was still a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
So,
but
Hoppy
Hoppy's a fuck.
Yeah, Hoppy is a fuck. It's all Hoppy's fault that they stayed there as long as they did. Because obviously some fuckery went down. The Dalton family did not like what was happening there. So they're like, all right, we're getting out of here. And, they forget Hoppy. You go back and they're like, all right, well, we'll stay. It's like the stupidest fucking thing. If any of that shit happened and I was like, the father of the family, I'd be like, nah, we're fucking out. This is too weird. We don't like this.
We can get you another bunny.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have said. Listen, we have to get out of here. It's dangerous there. We'll get you a new bunny. And that's it. They'd have to just deal with it. It's either you're going to cry over a freaking stuffed animal for a couple weeks or you fucking die. That's it. You got two options. And I'm not the one doing the killing. It's them. So, hey, you got to do what you got to do as a parent to fucking save your family's life. And Ben's like, oh, we got to go back and get the bunny. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
You're literally trying to save yourself and in your life, right? Get your family out of there and like, now we need this stuffed animal.
Exactly. It's so stupid. So Hoppy is the real villain of this movie. And that scene when they're trying to just leave, first of all, it's like, oh, it looks like you got a hole in your tire. Clearly they fucking did it. Or the groundskeeper, whoever. But also, Tesla tires, man, I hear those things are fucking expensive. Like, you can't just simply patch one of those things up. It's like a fucking ordeal.
Oh, yeah. Everything on a Tesla is expensive.
Yeah, it costs a fucking fortune. So that happens. They fix it. And then for some reason, Hoppy is on the roof. And, you know, they have to get Hoppy. And Hoppy's all fucked up. And this whole scene is so uncomfortable because they're all just trying to leave. And it's like clearly like, are you sure you're going to go? Except in the most mentally abusive ways of like going, you know, between the tire, between Hoppy on the roof and like shaking the ladder and being like, oh, you got to watch out there. And that's when we see Ant get thrown into the water. But
I love how James McAvoy just casually picks him up and yeets him into the pond.
oh, I know, right?
And he can't swim, so he's just drowning.
Yeah. Huh. Like, I understand the reason for the father getting out and saving the kid, because how can you fucking live with that on your conscience? Like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm going to get my family out of here and let you die. That's a hard one to just walk away from, because that's going to fuck everyone up. The daughter's going to be fucked up. She'll be in therapy for the rest of her life, seeing like a kid drown and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, he just fucking yeets him into the water. It's like no big deal. But we're skipping around all over the place, and it's fine. Whatever. So
That's fine. We don't want to spoil everything.
right, because we already reviewed this movie before.
I will say, another thing I really liked that they kept in this was the quote.
Oh, because you let us?
Yeah.
That's
So Ben asks Patty, he says, why are you doing this? And Patty says, because you let us. So
That's so fucking cold.
it's cold as fuck. And another thing a very minor detail from the original that they left in this that I was very happy they did, because we both talked about it in that original review we did on how like spine tingling that quote is, man. Like you said, cold and heartless. And yeah.
Yeah, that's the scene where they were about to be stoned to death. So they had all the opportunity in the world to just like to leave and escape. And that's when they were forced to take their clothes off before walking down into a hole where they start throwing rocks at them. They could have fought against this. I would rather be shot than fucking stoned to death. Like,
yeah,
what the
because
fuck?
you go quick, you know?
Exactly. So they could have fought, which they didn't. They just accepted their fate and laid down and get stoned to death. It's just like the dumbest thing ever. I mean, that's it's like, you better believe I'd be fighting for my life, trying to fucking get out of there. But this doesn't happen. This one turns out into like basically a huge action number at the end of the movie. And we've mentioned this before, by the way, about the trailer. When the trailer came out, we're like, they just gave away the whole fucking movie.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. The whole movie was in the trailer.
Yeah, it basically did. Like, we saw every pivotal part in this trailer in the movie.
The one that really pissed me off was in the original, we don't know why the kid can't speak, or we don't know why. What the fuck is his name?
Ant.
No, Abel. We don't know why Abel can't speak. We're told by Bjorn that Patrick. We're told by Patrick that Abel has like some sort of disease where he can't speak, or what did it say? Like something with his tongue.
A small tongue.
That's what it was. So we never know why he can't speak until the very end of the movie. And we see them literally cut his tongue off with a pair of construction paper scissors.
Yep.
They showed this whole thing in the trailer.
Yeah, they show that the kid got his tongue
remake.
cut off, and they just gave away so much of it.
And that was one of my favorite things about the original was we didn't know that until probably, was it like the last 20 minutes of the movie or something?
Yeah, something like that. Like the kids show Bjorn his tongue like just small, and you don't think anything of it really. I mean, you know some weird shit's going down, but he doesn't know the kid's getting his tongue cut off. But then we find out later that it's actually Ben's kid, and I think it's the girl. She gets her tongue cut out. So with like the play school scissors. I just call them play school scissors because they look dull as fuck.
Yeah. Construction paper scissors, play school scissors.
Yeah, yeah. We don't see any of that in this movie. We know that the kid got his tongue cut off, but we don't see it happening. He just gestures it, like just showing that like he got his tongue cut off.
And it probably has a lot to do with this is a Hollywood movie. They don't want to show that shit. And most of the people that see this movie, they don't know it's a remake.
You're right. They don't, because if people went into this movie seeing all that shit like the original showed, it wouldn't go over well, man. People would be really fucked up by it because that original one is unsettling.
Yeah. I remember after watching that first movie, it fucked me up. Like, legit had a hard time falling asleep that night because I was just so gutted.
Yeah, it's absolutely gutting. It's so fucking crazy. So they had to tone it down for the American audiences. And then they had to give us the happy ending, which I mean, I don't hate. I
didn't hate the ending at all, man.
No,
especially where Ant got his revenge and the way he did it.
Oh my. Reverse kid death.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Kid survived this one and Patty gets his head fucking exploded.
Yeah, first, like, he gets stabbed with a needle with some, like, I don't know if it's like a tranquilizer or something like that, right? And Patty's fucked up, hits the ground, and Ant just goes fucking hard with a brick. And it's brutal. And, like, he goes, that's my boy, before getting his brains just sprayed everywhere.
Yeah, and the practical effects in this scene were really, really cool. Not gonna lie about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was like the ending was pretty good. Getting acid sprayed in his face was fucking brutal.
Funny thing you mentioned, because I was reading the IMDb page about that scene.
Yep.
And under the goof section, so in the bathroom when he's washing his eyes, he has a subconjunctival hemorrhage in his left eye. So you see his eye when it was bloody.
Yeah.
In the very next scene, his eyes are perfectly clear.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I did notice that because I immediately thought, wow, he really cleaned his fucking eye pretty good then.
Yeah. He had acid in his eye and then he was just fine in the next scene.
Good for him. He's like, fuck this. I'm fine. Let's go.
James McAvoy just like flexed his eyeball and he healed himself or something.
Sounds accurate. His eyeballs have fucking muscles and shit. Well, I mean, eyeballs do, but they're like jacked up lifting weights and all that shit. He's fucking massive, man. He's always got some sort of weird feat of strength in his movies, apparently. Like in Split, he just bending bars and stuff and climbing walls. And this one, he's fucking smashing through like doors and all sorts of shit. He's a monster.
These are just normal James McAvoy things, though. He does those outside of movies and film and stuff.
That's right. We gotta like, I gotta know what his daily workout routine is. Like, does he rip the head off like children, or does he just flip cars, or like, what does he do? Like, we gotta know what James McAvoy routine is like because it's something ridiculous. Maybe he's
Holy
just
shit,
smashing down walls. What?
So this is a trivia note, right? The story is inspired by the experiences of Christian Tafdrup, who's the director of the original Danish Speak No Evil, who had befriended a Dutch couple while on holiday in Tuscany with his wife. Although the Dutch were a bit socially awkward, both couples got along very well, and after returning home, Tafdrup received an invitation from the Dutch family to come over to the Netherlands. He briefly considered it, but decided that he would feel odd staying with people he didn't really know. His story for the movie came about when he unleashed his darkest fantasies on what could have happened had he accepted their invitation.
You never know. But that's fucked up. That's a fucked up thing to think about. And it's honestly possible.
I didn't know that this was basically based on a true story.
Loosely, obviously.
Well, loosely a true story. So like the beginning and like the middle of it was mostly true, but damn, man, that's kind of a whole new meaning to it, honestly.
Yeah. Could you imagine you're just on your vacation, you meet this couple, they ask you to go for the weekend and you end up doing it? But that's a hell of a chance to take.
So he also had maintained that the original Dutch couple had never given off any bad vibes.
Yeah, they're probably good people, but he just used his, I don't know.
His imagination to like...
His sick and twisted imagination to make it happen.
Yep.
Which we got a solid movie out of it. Either way, both of them were pretty good. I think I might like the original one better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, easy.
And it's not because it's excessively better or anything. It's just like they both have their pros and cons, but I just think I gravitate more towards the original over this one for sure.
Yeah, the ending is what got me, man. They completely swapped who survived. I hated that part of it.
Yeah, that's
part of what made the original so unsettling was the bad people ended up winning.
That's true. And we do like seeing our movies with bad people winning. We've talked about this at length, man, at absolute length. And sometimes it's, I don't know, reassuring to see that fucking not everything ends in a happy ending. That's just fucking life. And then it's like these people, man. Okay, this father, Ben, is the biggest bitch in this movie. Oh my God, man.
He is. I made a comment. Ant finally got his revenge and smashed Patty's head into dust. More balls than that pussy Ben.
Oh my God, you're right. Okay, so in that situation, Ben's got a gun to this guy's head, and Patty's on the ground, and he can't move because he's been drugged. So what the fuck was he thinking? He could have easily done something. He could have, I know it's not easy for everyone to watch someone shoot another guy in the face with a shotgun, but think of how many lives you're going to save by doing that.
No, he did not think of that.
No, he was just like, come on, we're fine. Let's go. We're safe. Whatever. But who's to say that he's not going to come find you? Or who's to say that he's not just going to pull the same shit with another family? And then Ant fucking mans up, does what needs to be done, and smashes that guy into smithereens.
Boy, did he ever.
See, that's what you got to do. This father, man, the whole time, no, I think we can stay. It's fine. They're okay.
Perfect impression.
Yeah, that's spot on. And finally, when they get in the house to take refuge from Patty and the groundskeeper, I can't remember the groundskeeper's name, but
Mike.
Okay, Mike. So they're basically taking refuge, and Ben is like, I'm so sorry. Like, this is all my fault.
No, it wasn't Mike. It was Mujid. Or Mujid.
Okay, Mujid. Okay. In like the wussiest way possible, Ben is like, this is all my fault. I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you. This wouldn't have been a problem if you said fuck Hoppy and then decided to get the hell out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All you got to say was fuck Hoppy. We'll get you another one.
Yep. Could have just been like, fuck Hoppy. We're going to go. We'll call the cops. Movie's over. But no, instead they just went through all that fuckery and decided to appease Hoppy. Whatever, man. I'm not going to give too much away. If you've seen the original one, I mean, feel free to check it out and compare the two, see which one you like more. I didn't hate the ending, but like I said, they both have the pros and cons. It almost sounds like I'm just wrapping up my fucking review here, but why don't we do this? Corey, what did you think of Speak No Evil, the James McAvoy edition?
So I'm not going to completely shit all over it.
No.
But I think they changed too much of it. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. This remake does not need to exist. Should have left it be. I mean, like I said, 2 years between the original and the remake. It's unnecessary. James McAvoy was the best part of this entire movie. He's so fucking good as a maniac. Reminds me of, what the hell was that guy's name from Trap? Josh
Hartnett.
Do you have these A-list actors that somehow can nail a fucking maniac perfectly?
Yeah.
But they took out the 2 best parts of the original. The scissor to the tongue and the stoning of both Bjorn and Louise. I like my horror movies to make me feel like shit when the credits roll.
And the original one absolutely made us feel like gutted shit. Oh, man, just like it made us feel like sewerage. It was just so dreadful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the thing. They just can't have American audiences leaving the theater being like, I feel like shit. I can't eat dinner anywhere. Like that type bullshit. I don't know. But I'm going to agree with you on this. I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5 as well. It was fine. James McAvoy was awesome in this, but that's no surprise. Can't wait to see him in When Evil Lurks, but time will tell when that is announced.
Dude, don't put that into the universe. Edit that out.
No.
Don't make that public.
Sorry, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That way, I'm not trying to put that voodoo in the fucking universe, but I would die laughing. Absolutely die laughing if we saw James McAvoy in a When Evil Lurks.
James McAvoy is going to be in the Coffee Table remake now.
Oh my God. Let's not put any more shit out in the universe.
All right, keep going.
Okay. The movie does a good job at building dread, similar to that of the original one. But yeah, pretty similar, minus the ending. But overall, it was okay. I didn't regret watching it by any means. It's worth a watch, but it may be tough for some because of the constant dread and undertones of child abuse. So there's like I just laughed during child abuse. Because you put Ari Lehman in the fucking notes.
No, I didn't. You must add on the clipboard
Bullshit.
again.
Bullshit. I just watched you type it in. Okay. I'm going to read that again.
No, leave that.
Leave it? All right.
Leave it just like it was.
Fuck it. I guess we'll have to pay Ari Lehman later.
With all their denim jacket sales?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, buy our merch so we have to pay Ari Lehman because we've just referenced him, I think, 3 or 4 times already within the span of 30 seconds. For those of you who don't know who Ari Lehman is, he's the first Jason.
That's what I'll tell you anyway.
Yeah.
He kind of is, but
Yeah, he technically is. He just played the kid that got beaten up by the bullies and jumped in the water and then drowned. So that technically is the first Jason. So, I mean, whatever. But yeah, overall, 3 out of 5. I would definitely like to have seen it have maybe an alternate ending on Blu-ray or DVD, but I think at this point it's already out. Well, I know it's out on digital. I just don't know if it's out on physical. I haven't checked, actually.
it's so weird to me that movies go out on streaming now and like physical just doesn't exist when they come out.
Yeah.
Remember the days of when they came out at the same time?
Oh, I remember. So Joker just dropped on digital as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that one, brother.
I know, right? Hell yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah. So Speak No Evil physical release is November 19th. Damn.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I see it's in like pre-order
Yeah.
status. Okay. But I got to know, is there, let's see, hour and 50-minute runtime? I don't think I'm seeing anything regarding special features such as deleted scenes or whatever.
No, it just says behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, which is them talking about filming all that shit. Whatever.
Mhm.
It's fine. It's worth a watch.
Jesus
So-
Christ, the top review on the DVD or Blu-ray's page. I wish I could give this 10 stars. Such a great movie and way better than the original.
What kind of fucking maniac says that?
Oh, man. These are paid reviews. Amazon's paying people to review shit now.
Are they?
I love this movie. One of the best films I've seen this year.
Sign me up for that job. We already do that. We're doing the work for free by putting out
Right.
podcasts.
No one's
and
paying us
saying-
for this shit.
No, that's why everyone needs to buy some merch from us. And also visit our sponsor, Beard Octane, and receive 10% off their order when they use 30 Screams 10 at checkout.
Having watched the original just one day before this, I can honestly say I like the remake better.
Really?
Ugh.
Okay. These are American people, I'm assuming. I bet if other people watched it outside of the U.S., they'd probably think otherwise. They probably think the original's better.
The people that are reviewing this positively probably thought Suitable Flesh was a good movie.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Add it.
Don't you fucking dare.
I'm not gonna. Oh, man. All right. All right, everyone. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. Leave us a 5-star review on all podcast platforms so we can get some more exposure. Of course, tell your friends. Both our intro and outro music are courtesy of Andrew Scott Bell. Be sure to check out Andrew on all major streaming platforms. And if you see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey on vinyl in the wild, be sure to pick it up. We're also part of the Shining Wizards Network. Be sure to visit shiningwizardsnetwork.com. They're an awesome podcast network ranging from wrestling to heavy metal, horror, all that good stuff. So check that out. Visit 30screamsorless.com for all previous episodes and transcripts to go with those episodes. Also, check out beardoctane.com for their whole line of grooming supplies. And be sure to use the code 30screams10 at checkout for 10% off your order. And if there's anything you want us to review, send an email to 30screamsorless@gmail.com or hit us up on social media. Use hashtag 30screamsorless. And also, we have some awesome merch for sale on our website, so definitely check that out. If you go to our website, at the very top, there's a shop link. Click that link, and you'll see all sorts of shirts, hats, mugs, things like that. If you buy it, it helps going towards our hosting costs. I'm Steve,
I'm Corey.
and thanks for listening to 30 Screams or Less, and don't forget to drink your beans.